Hello, it's Jim Manning, author of Patriotism, Unhinged. The book is selling well. We are going to show you today why it's so important. The whole substance of my investigation ended up with me uncovering information that had been put out by people that were then compromised with all sorts of ideas from the CIA of this person's a pedophile and this person's a Nazi and this is that, whatever. I mean, I start to wonder, how would people think that after 62 years of fruitless study that you're going to come up with new information when almost everybody's dead? The only person still alive is James Fowles, who's in hospice, and we don't know how long he'll be in hospice. Now, I've contacted by telephone. It's very, very difficult to get through to Congress people. But I've left messages with Representative Anna Paulina Luna. I left messages that she should consider inviting the people who have another side of this thing, because what would happen if we said that we would go there and we would testify under oath, and we would bring, by way of computer, James Fowles, who would also be sworn to make a deposition or answer any and all questions from the representatives on that oversight committee. And if they refused for us to do that, and they get up for re-election, and this thing is coming out, there's no question about it, then how would you ever explain that away if you're the head of the committee? There isn't anything to be found. I've been telling people for years, what do you think you're going to find when a president releases this stuff? Any president, they've been all lined up, they're going to 105,000 pages, 10. They've been doing this for almost ever, and nothing. And there's never going to be anything. And anybody that thinks there is has got a real problem, because they had 62 years, and I'll bet in the first 5 years, everything that would have been of any value in telling the truth was ruined, thrown away, burned, whatever. And so nothing's coming out. And now just about everybody's dead, so there aren't going to be any live people telling anything. But to have the man that more than 50% of this country believe made the shot that killed Kennedy in the temple, who will under oath tell what he knows, and not to let that happen is ridiculous. So I'm asking people that really care about this thing to perhaps make a phone call, send an email, send a telegram, send something to the committee. I don't believe this is a Democratic, Republican kind of thing. I really don't. And I think that this would even be good for President Trump, because it's a big news item, and it would help smooth things over from a bipartisan standpoint. If I could get, a couple of thousand people to do that, to contact them, there's a good chance they might feel the heat. I have nothing to fear, and I have a group of individuals who would accompany me, who they could also question. They're as knowledgeable about him as I am. Now I want to explain that I love doing the YouTubes because I love getting the information out. Some of it is brand new to people that haven't gone deep on this. It's like building. It's like a brick. And I'm putting bricks together. putting them together to build a case. And but it's hard in 15 or 20 minutes on YouTube to get a lot of information out. One of the things that I think would be helpful for people who are really interested in this thing would be to acquire James Fowles' book. His book, Primary Target, is a book about his life. I can tell you that if you get this book, start reading it early in the morning because it's hard to put down. It goes very, very deep. It tells a lot of secrets, but it's from a simple man who did a simple job that was just a horrible job of killing people. You can buy this book, just like it's a hardcover book. It's a little more expensive than a paperback, but he also is alive for a time being and can sign the book, and to authenticate it, he can put his thumbprint or his trigger fingerprint on it. I suggest that you do that because, let me tell you why. This book, Regicide, was written in 2002, I believe. And after the CIA and other agencies found out about it, they were asleep at the switch. It had been printed, 10,000 copies were printed. A lot of the copies had been sent to bookstores, libraries, and things like that by the publisher. And they went out and they took them all the copies of this that were still available at the publisher, and they commandeered them. They then got a list of all of the bookstores that the books were sent to, and FBI, CIA, other government agencies all went out and commandeered them from the bookstores. After that, they realized that a good number of them, which had been sent out in the mail because of pre-orders, they put ads in places that people who read a lot might see the ad for a bogus book company, that if you had a copy of this, you could send it to them and they would give you $100 for it. Now, it took me 2 years to get this book. I had all kind of companies looking for it, and when they found it, it cost me $300. So there's going to come a time whenever history is going to tell the truth, and the man who took the coup de grace shot on John Kennedy, you're going to have his book signed and printed with his fingerprints. I believe it's a decent investment, if nothing else. The other thing that I want to say while we're on the subject, this book here, I saw recently republished in Europe. And then I checked in the United States because I saw that it was on Kindle. I didn't read it because I had on Kindle because I had a copy of it, assuming it was the same thing. Unfortunately, it was like 100 pages short. And what had happened was that somehow the writer of the book, Gregory Douglas, had made a deal. They would let him publish the book again, and he would have to remove 4 sections. And so I caught that by accident when I was checking on an English situation online. However, so you don't get the real stuff. I don't think that Anna Polina Luna is getting the real stuff either from the Russians. But the real stuff is in here. And the only other place in the United States that I know of that you can find it is in here. So it may or may not be, but this book may well, through the years, be something that's coveted. Also, I would like to ask that those of you that understand that I'm not a professional, I'm just a man trying to give regular people an understanding of what happened. What I would like for you to do would be to review the book, that those of you that have bought it, review the book. I just learned recently that the more reviews that come in, the better the book will sell. There's a chance that if we got enough reviews, and if they go to 4.5, I'm told that the larger publication companies publish the book nationally, which would go into all the bookstores and the libraries and so forth, and more people would get to see the information. If you have a chance, I would appreciate it if you'd consider doing that as part and parcel to us all working together as a team to get this thing out. It's just amazing that most of you have probably seen a lot of my YouTubes. It's amazing the stuff that we have provided evidence for, and not one newspaper writer or anybody has said anything about it. We send out press releases. We do things everybody does, but they just won't do it. And so we believe that that the Oversight Committee would be doing the country a big justice to let them at least hear our point of view. Everybody's entitled to a point of view. Those are people that say anything to me on the comments that are not necessarily friendly, they have a point of view. They can say what they want. I understand that, and not being a professional, it would come natural to me to expect that. I want to thank you all for getting the book. I want to thank you for reading the book, and remember, pass it on to other people, at least to read. You might want to keep the copy, but let family members and guests and neighbors read it, because it's going to take a lot to overcome the millions and millions and millions of dollars and the thousands and thousands of people who work for the government who are trying to keep this thing dead forever.